Today we're looking at two of the most talked about radios in the CB world, the Cobra 25 LTD and the Cobra 29 LTD. A lot of you have asked which one is worth putting in your truck. So in this video, we're going to break them down side by side, talk about how they actually perform, and tell you which one I think makes the most sense depending on how you plan to use it. Let's start with the overall design and feel, because that's the first thing that really separates them. The Cobra 25 LTD Classic is the smaller of the two. It's compact, clean, and it fits into just about any vehicle without much hassle. If you're running a pickup or even something smaller like a Jeep or SUV, it's easy to find a place to mount it without feeling cramped. The Cobra 29 LTD Classic, on the other hand, is noticeably larger. It's built for trucks, plain and simple. You get that big rig look and a little more presence on the dash, but you also need the space for it. In a full-size semi or a pickup truck, it looks right at home. In a smaller vehicle, it's going to feel a little oversized. Now, the design difference isn't just about looks. The 29's larger size gives you more room for controls. That means you've got dedicated knobs for mic gain, RF gain, and a few other settings that just aren't on the 25. It's a radio you can fine-tune exactly how you like it. The 25 keeps things simpler, and honestly, that's part of its charm. If you don't want to mess around with adjustments all day and just want to get on the air, the 25 is easier to live with. When it comes to performance, both of these are 40-channel CB radios that run at the standard 4 watts of power. In terms of raw transmit strength, they're going to perform about the same. That's just the limit for CB in the US. But what really matters is the receive performance and the clarity of the audio. The 25 LTD Classic has always impressed me with how clean it sounds for such a simple rig. The receiver is solid, it picks up weak signals pretty well, and it doesn't overload easily when you're in high noise areas. The 29 LTD Classic edges it out slightly in receive quality though, and I think that's mostly because of its larger circuitry and better filtering. You can usually pull in a little more detail from the same signal on the 29, especially if you're out on the highway surrounded by a lot of electrical noise from other trucks. Both radios now come with AM and FM modes, which Cobra added recently. FM is great if you're talking to others who have FM-capable radios. You get much clearer audio and less static. But for now, AM is still where most of the traffic is, so you'll probably find yourself using that most of the time. One thing both radios have in common is how comfortable they are with tweaking and tuning their setup. The 29 LTD Classic gives you a lot of control. You've got mic gain, RF gain, a noise blanker, and an SWR calibration meter built right in. That SWR meter is a nice touch, although I'll be honest, it's not the most accurate one you'll ever use. It'll give you a ballpark idea, but if you want to properly tune your antenna, you'll still need a dedicated meter. Still, it's handy for quick checks. The 25 LTD, in contrast, doesn't have all those adjustment options. It's simpler, and that can actually be an advantage if you just want to plug it in, tune your antenna once, and forget about it. It's just dependable. It does what it's supposed to do without getting in the way. Now let's talk about audio, both transmit and receive. Cobra has been known for solid audio for decades, and both of these radios carry that tradition. The 25 LTD has clean, punchy transmit audio right out of the box. You can plug in a good power mic if you want to add a little more punch, but even the stock mic sounds decent. The 29 LTD, though, is where you really start to hear the difference. The built-in Dynamic control lets you shape your transmit audio a bit more, and once you dial it in, you can get some very strong, clear audio reports. The receive audio is also a little fuller thanks to the larger speaker. It just has more presence, which makes it easier to listen to for long periods on the road. Noise handling is also better on the 29. The noise blanker and automatic noise limiter filters do a good job cutting down on background interference. That's not to say the 25 doesn't handle noise well. It does, but the 29 is definitely the quieter of the two, especially if you're in a high interference environment like near power lines or in a busy truck stop. Build quality is another point where there are some differences. Both radios are made well and have that old school Cobra metal chassis feel, which I like. The knobs are firm, the switches feel sturdy, and everything's laid out logically. That said, the 29 LTD Classic just feels a bit more rugged. It's built to take daily use from truckers who are constantly keying up, turning knobs, and moving down the road. The 25 is durable, but it's lighter and more compact. And over the years, it holds up a little better in a stationary or lighter use environment. Installation is easier with the 25 LTD Classic, because of its smaller size. You can mount it just about anywhere without worrying too much about space. The 29, because of that larger body, does need more room and sometimes a heavier mounting bracket. In a semi or large pickup, that's no issue. But if you're trying to fit it into something like a Jeep Wrangler or a smaller cab, the 25 will save you some frustration. As for real-world use, both are reliable once they're installed correctly. The 25 LTD Classic is great if you just need to stay in touch with others on the trail or check road conditions occasionally. It's quick to set up, simple to run, and dependable. The 29 LTD Classic really comes into its own on long hauls. You can spend hours listening to it and not feel fatigued, and the extra control over gain and filtering makes it easier to adapt to different conditions as you drive. If you're the kind of operator who enjoys tweaking your radio and you want something that feels like a professional tool, you'll appreciate what the 29 offers. If you're someone who just wants a straightforward CB that's easy to mount and sounds good without adjustments, the 25 is the one to go with. To wrap it up, here's how I see it after years of using both. The Cobra 25 LTD Classic is a fantastic all-around radio. It's compact, simple, and performs far better than its size suggests. It's perfect for smaller vehicles or anyone who wants a clean, easy setup. The Cobra 29 LTD Classic is for the driver who wants control, more tuning options, better noise handling, and a more substantial radio that feels built for the long haul. You'll need the space for it and maybe a little patience to fine-tune things, but it rewards you with a bit more performance and flexibility. Honestly, you can't go wrong with either one. It just depends on how serious you are about your setup and how much space you've got to work with. If you're setting up a radio for your pickup, you'll usually go with the 25 LTD Classic because it keeps things simple and clean. But in a full-size truck where space isn't an issue, the 29 LTD Classic still feels like a benchmark. Just know that whichever you choose, make sure your antenna system is tuned right, because that's where the real performance difference comes from.